Welcome to Really Rahaf, the podcast for women who know they're way too powerful to be stuck in a 9-to-5. I'm Rahaf, multi-six-figure high-ticket sales coach, PhD student in global leadership and change, and sponsored skateboarder. I went from serving tables and chasing tips to mastering high-ticket sales and building income streams that don't require me to trade hours for dollars. Here we talk about the real path into remote sales, landing aligned offers, closing with confidence, regulating your nervous system under pressure, and building a skill set that pays you from anywhere. This isn't bro sales. This is psychology, power, and feminine precision. If you're here, it's because you feel it. Freedom isn't optional for you. It's inevitable. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome back to the Really Rahaf podcast. I feel like this whole month has been all special guests, and there's just been so many success stories, and I have a very special one for you today. Today I brought on Anae, and we're going to dive into her story, her experience inside Revenue Room, her landing a role. There's so much in this conversation that you are going to be gushing from. I mean, she's already gushing. She's telling me, she's like, I've been holding in all these surprises and saving it for the podcast. So there's a lot in this episode that even I haven't heard yet. So I'm so excited to dive in deep with you. I'm going to hand it off to you. Anae, if you just want to start out by saying where you're located, how we met, and from there, we'll start to dive in a little deeper.
Perfect. Hi, I'm Anae. I'm a small town South African girl living in northern Alberta. And I was starting to look into the high ticket space when Emma slid into my DMs. I was so unaware of what was about to transpire. And she led me to Rahaf, and poor Rahaf had to go through background checks and so many questions, trying to prove she is who she says she is and not some mermaid that washed ashore. And I joined the program not planning on doing any of that, and it's completely transformed my life.
Yeah, Anae, you're so funny. We had our sales call, and being in the high ticket sales world, getting into high ticket sales, of course that voice comes up. Is it a scam? Is this real? And then you're so funny because you're like, I did background checks on you. I wanted to make sure you're real. And I'm like, I'm real. Pinch me. I'm real. But it makes sense because it's such a different world. And sometimes you look at it, you're like, this is too good to be true. But I was like, Anae, just watch. Come in here and just watch. And here we are, not even 4 months later. And I mean, your journey has just been unbelievably spectacular. I mean, I don't even want to say unbelievable because it's it makes sense with everything you've done. So I want to first start off by really just the first week compared to where you are now. I know that's a big gap of time, and we're going to dive into each different segment, but just overall, can you talk to me about your baseline in your first week, from when we first met to your baseline now?
Wow. It was constant crying. I could not stop crying, and crying layered under anger and confusion and frustration. And now it's just, I'm so chill. I am who is this girl? What is this life I'm witnessing? Because I'm just watching through the eyes. I'm not I don't know this. This is so unreal. I'm so calm. I check with myself every now and again, and I'm like, I feel completely content. My baseline frequency is so solid. I wake up every day and I just move through the day. Where before I used to wake up I would get a fright. I would be when I wake up every morning for no apparent reason. And I just wake up so calm and rested, and I start my day. And at the end of the day, I just feel so content. The other night I fell asleep. I was holding my pillow and I was just smiling like I'm the luckiest girl in the world. And for no reason, there was no particular reason. I've never felt this kind of peace in my life. I've always had this internal battle. So it's been refreshing.
And if you had to be tangible with what did it, what was it that did it that took you out of this fight or flight baseline, waking up frantic, to now feeling this peace when you put your head down on your pillow at night? Because all you did was learn sales, right? Or was there something more?
Well, I thought I was learning sales, but meanwhile, we did a whole identity and mindset reframe. And it was like breaking down. We talked about walking through the forest fire that used to be your life. We talked about the onions peeling layer by layer. We had so many analogies that we looked at to try to describe and, define this process. But it's phase one. Phase one was it for me. And I went back in my third month, like my last week of my third month, and I read phase one. And the girl who wrote that, she was 3.0 version. I'm not even there yet. I'm not even where she's at, the way she thinks. Like, I'm 2.0 right now, but she was 3.0 while being 1.0. Like, how is that even possible? Like, it blew my mind. And I watched the video, my video journal, and I was like, who is she? Like, wow, like she cares so much. Where has she been? And it was just like putting yourself in that space and answering those questions and doing the work. It's doing the work. It's showing up, doing the work, and not having a preconceived idea of what it's going to be like, but really just letting it happen. And that was the greatest shift for me, was just letting it happen. Now, the other day, I had a good moment, and then I had a bad moment, and a good one and a bad one. And I was like, in the bad moments, I was just like laughing. I'm like, this is ridiculous, but it's okay. It happened. And we're going to move on to the next, not getting so stuck in, why is this happening? Oh my goodness, I can't deal with this right now. None of that.
Yeah, like getting out of that victim mentality. And for the listeners listening, when we talk about phase one is the phase in the curriculum of Revenue Room where it dives into the identity work, dives into the mindset work, which is 80 to 90% of the work. Like, you can't even learn sales. You can't even learn this new skill set without becoming the person that you need to be to learn it. Because if you snapped your fingers right now, Anae, and became a closer, would you be able to hold it without having all of that knowledge, all of that foundation that you learned in Revenue Room? And that's what I love to tell women. It's like, it's not about just learning the skill set. It's like, you need to be the person you need to be to hold it all. And that's what you've been able to do more than anything, is you showed up every single day. You showed up early in the calls, because I get like notifications in my mail of who comes in the Zoom room before, and it's always you. It's always Anae's in your room. Anae's in your room. So I'm not even surprised that this is what you're experiencing and these are your results, and you've been able to land a role so fast, which we'll talk about. But your commitment, because let me ask you, like, did you have any sales experience before Revenue Room? Like, can you walk me through?
And I'm going to choose my words carefully. I thought I did. Like, I did sales for a boutique back in South Africa. I had my own tailor shop back in South Africa. And then I did home sewing when I got to Canada. I worked with people, and there were sales involved in some of it, but nothing prepared me for what I learned here. And I wasn't even, when I got on the call with you, I had no intention of signing up for anything. I had no intention of spending money, because my idea around money was so different than it is now. And that change has brought so much abundance into my life, which is crazy. Like, I never, ever thought this would be possible. So I really feel that you should just, take that leap. Back in the day, we went to our grandma, we went to our auntie, we went to our mom, we gained knowledge from the people before us. Now we have this space where we can go to someone who's been through it. When you talked about investing in yourself, and now you value yourself more because you put that work into yourself, and then you invest in yourself again. And I felt that. I never saw it like that. I'm doing Invisalign now, and I keep asking myself, why have I waited 18 years? It was, now it's like the silliest, tiniest thing. And before it was this huge amount in my head. How can I afford this? And now I think to myself, why not sooner? And you have to, if you want to get the results, you have to put the work in. Just as we invest way more money into college and whatever else we put our money in, houses, cars, why not into ourselves? You talked about this, how when you put it into yourself, how much more you can do in the world around you.
Yeah. And people like you, we're so good at giving to others. We're so good at investing into others that we forget about ourselves. And even something as simple as you investing in Invisalign,
you not being able to, like you said yourself, you're like, I learned how to invest in myself in Revenue Room, which taught you how to invest in yourself in other parts of your life. And you're a mama, right? So can you talk to us about how your relationship with, like, how you being a mother, how that's shifted in your time in Revenue Room? Because it really does transcend to the other parts of your life. And that's something that's really stood out to me from what you've said.
I'm getting chills, like my arms and legs are on fire. So with my kids, I started seeing in them that they were doing what I was doing. They were mirroring me. And I was like, this is not what I want for them. And if I don't want this for them, why do I want it for myself? Why don't I value myself as much as I'm valuing them? And our relationship, I feel like there's so much more calmness and understanding where we had like a power struggle before. And my kids, like, they see me putting in the work. They see me working hard. My son woke me up the other morning crying. Like, I was so panicked. I'm like, what is happening? He's like, I prayed that God will bless you abundantly. And I love you so much. And I don't want you to work too hard. I want you to be in my life forever. And he was just pouring all of this on me, and he held me and he cried. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. And the other day it started raining at the beach, and I just laid in the rain, and it ended up, the rain stopped quickly, luckily. And he's like, God is blessing you. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I take it. And we saw a fox, like a real life fox at the playground coming up to us. Like, it came up to me and it was like facing me directly. And he's like, God is blessing you. And he keeps saying the same thing over and over. And I'm like, wow, thank you. Coming from you, I like take it full on. So I don't know. They've seen me grow. They've seen me, invest in myself. And my daughter has her own interesting way of investing in herself now. She just took a book at the store the other day. She's like, I want this, please and thank you. And she was just adamant about it. She's like, I want to draw and I want a book. I don't want to keep coming to your office and asking for paper. And it stood out to me. It's the silliest, tiniest thing, but it's her. She's valuing herself. She's like, I want this and I don't have the finances, but my mom does. And I'm asking this of her. And that really stood out to me. And the same with my son. He got himself some Crocs yesterday, and he's been wanting it for a while, and he just made it happen. He got resourceful. He tells me, I have money, just use my wallet. So I already see their decision making changing, and the dynamics between us, like, just evolving. We've always been tight, but it's like it's evolving even more.
Yeah. And being that example to them, because you're living by example, you're showing them what it's like to move around the world in peace, in calmness, and they're absorbing it like a sponge. So it's so beautiful. And I want to let's dive into you inside Revenue Room, you learning the skill set, because in 3 months, how can you even sum that up? Like, what do you, like, where do we even start with that? What was your favorite part about Revenue Room of learning high ticket sales? Because you mentioned, you worked in a boutique, and that's great because a lot of women, they have that type of experience of, like, they've just worked with people. That's it. Well, guess what? You being a woman, you working with people, that's enough. Everything else is learning the skill set, which is exactly what you did. So being in Revenue Room, what was your favorite part about learning sales?
Oh my goodness, all of it. But the thing that really stood out to me were the group calls, especially the mock calls. Like, that was magic for me. And it felt both like therapy and like training, because we would dive into things so deeply. The other day I booked a mock call with one of the girls. We ended up talking for half of it, and the other half we cried together. And like, we're sisters for life now. So it's just amazing. The community is, I told you this before. I said your program, your structure, your framework is out of this world. Like, you really put the work in and it shows. And I believe in it and I stand behind it. But the community you've created and the way you go about it, how you choose who comes in. Thank you for choosing me. But the people you choose and how you qualify people, the space you set up, that is so valuable. That is my absolute favorite part about the program, is the support structure. And you know how messy my journey was. It wasn't always good. Like, I had moments, oh my word, I fought so hard against certain things. But the moment you let go and you just absorb it all, it just changes everything for you. But yeah, no, the structure of it, when you bring in new things, you changed one of the call structures twice, and every change was like leveling up. And I wanted to add so much more. Like I wanted to grow like exponentially because there's so much more we can do. But what we already did was invaluable. And the shift that happened in 3 months, unreal.
And I love that you said that, because the structure is in place so that you can play. Because the whole intention of Revenue Room is to help keep you in your feminine energy. And we talk a lot about feminine and masculine energy and how the 9-to-5 world was built on a masculine structure, which, like you said, it keeps us in that fight or flight. So we're programmed to wake up frantic, to wake up feeling like everything's on fire. So shifting from that type of baseline to a more ease, relaxed, slow mornings, taking our time, it feels dangerous for our nervous system. It feels like something is wrong. So there's an adjustment period that happens of like, okay, it is safe to move slow. It is safe to trust myself. It is safe to relax, because relaxing does not come easy when we've spent our entire life feeling tense and feeling like, oh my God, like I gotta clock in, clock out, do this, do that. And being able to play in that feminine energy and have that community, because everyone in that room, they're on the same journey as you. And it's also why I'm like super selective of who I bring in, because I curated that community to be the same belief systems, the same vibration, the same frequency. So when you're plugged in, you're like, okay, I feel like I'm home. And you fit right in today. You came in, you were like mama bear to all the girls, and you've provided so much support, and just with your energy, and even with you looking for roles, you helping out the women of like, okay, I found these roles, these aren't aligned for me, but you put them in the job board for the other girls to have. And so just to take it back, so you said the mocks, the community. Now let's talk about you landing the role, because that's the most exciting part, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to find the most exciting part, but for the listeners, that tends to be like the focus of like, okay, I want to land the role. I want to land the role. And you learned the skill set, you put the hours in, you practice, you got your reps in. And then it came down to, okay, now to find that aligned role. Can you walk us through how first you started with your values, because we start with your values, how you started with your values, and how you found this juicy aligned role with this offer owner, and when you're about to start, because there's a lot of things in this story that I don't even know yet.
Yeah, it's so wild, because I changed my approach so much throughout the journey. You write everything down, you go by the book, you do it specifically structured, how I always did things. And I started letting go. I did what was required, and the rest I just let flow. So with my values, I would write it down, but I would also move through my day and be like, oh, this is aligned. I like that idea. Or something would pop up in my reaction to it. Why am I liking this? Why am I liking what I see? Or I would see something in an offer and I'd be like, oh no, that will not work for me. So it's almost like I had my set ideas, but then as I moved through my day, I noticed things that I didn't really necessarily say out loud. So I remember saying, I will not find an offer on Facebook, because I have been scammed on Facebook too many times. And that's where I ended up finding my offer. I joined some group. Right? I didn't even join all the groups. I randomly, whatever came, like I don't even remember how I searched it. I just dove in. I didn't want to plan too much, because that's where you get stuck. I just wanted to dive in and just have fun and play in the mud. So I somehow got to this group on Facebook, and I saw this post, and it just stood out to me. It was different than the others, and I just liked how the layout looked. And her name was like, I'm like, is she from South Africa? Why does her name look like it could be? But I've done that before, and it wasn't the case. So I DM'd her, and she responded, and she asked for a loom, and I recorded the loom. That was the second one I did. So I'll come back to the first one. And she was like the second person I reached out to. So the first lady I reached out to, she had like a post going, she wants someone, and she helps VAs scale their VA business. Well, this is what I'm doing still. I'm a VA, so I I run the back end of a business and I do it virtually. It started with doing it for a church where I lived before and I moved away. So I kept doing their work virtually, and that kind of created that whole part of my business. So yeah, so I thought it was so aligned. Like, I'm literally going to sell a high ticket to becoming a VA who has like 10K months. So it was like perfectly aligned. And I didn't hear back from her. I also did the loom for her. That was the more structured, scripted one. That wasn't really me. The second one was more just, I came from the beach, I sat down, I created a loom. It was very natural. So she actually came back to me last night, the first lady. So, and then I reached out to like 15 other people, and I just, the more volume, the less attached I was to it. It's really true what Mike said, was just, get volume, don't be attached. Like the right offer will align and it will come your way. And I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Like, the first person I heard back from, like, that was it. And funny thing is, I always, this, you went through it with me. I overthink, I overanalyze, I do background checks. I just went for it. It just was a no-brainer. And every moment within it has been a no-brainer. So I'll get to more details on that in a sec. I did. It just felt aligned. It was good. And yeah, so I did outreach, and another offer owner came back as well, a third one. So I'm going to book calls with both of them because I want to direct them to a revenue room. I want to, tell them, if you do want girls, like, these are top tier girls. I have mentioned this to one of them. Like, I'm still need to respond to the other offer owner, but there were things in their offers where I was like, I don't know if I can make this work, or this seems a bit restricting, or like they need more time than I'm able to give. So when I hopped on with the offer owner that I went with, like, it was just so flexible. I mentioned to her, I'm like, I can do this time for meetings, or I can do that day for meetings. She went and changed it for everyone. And I was like, I just made a suggestion and she accommodated me. And I was like, wow, she's valuing me and I deserve to be valued, which I would never have done before. So that was really amazing. So the offer owner, she's from South Africa, which was aligned. We're both South African girls, and she's starting a B2B. So she's going to support coaches. She wants to create a whole network for coaches. They build an app, they have a website, they have a whole platform where coaches can build their products, build their brand, launch products connected to their brand, and they offer all the back support. They're going to train sales teams or connect with companies who train sales executives. So yeah, and then I hopped on a call and she's like, okay, so do you want to be hybrid? Do you want to close? Do you want to set? Do you want to do both? And then later on just close? And I was like, yeah, I'll prove myself as a setter and then become a closer. I'm trying to like step in lightly. And then she's like, okay, but we need someone to test the platform. So do you want your own offer? Like, we'll offer you full support and we'll help you build your offer. And then you can sell your own offer. And if it gets too much, we'll build you a sales team. And I'm like, excuse me, what? I did not even think about becoming an offer owner. Like, whoa, like, load me on your sales team. I got you. But funny thing is, like, I told her, let me think about it. Let me just sit on it a little bit and think about it. And this is where Papa Mike came in. And he was like so concerned. He's like, Ande, you really need to think about this. And I'm like, Mike, like, I'm doing what you taught me. Like, I'm like Red Bull, anything is possible world. But at the same time, I heard my dad's voice so loudly through him, like just showing concern. Like, what is your goal? Like, you need to have a why. You need to have a why to why you're doing this. And he watched you build this amazing program. He saw what it took from you to get to where you are today. And that's really what drove him to give me that moment of support and be like, really think about it. So I hopped on a call with my offer and I'm like, listen, my mentor is so worried. This is exactly what we said to each other. And now I'm saying it to you and I'm worried. Like, what are we going to do about it? Should you just put me back on the closer team? And 15 minutes later, she just asked questions. And 15 minutes later, we had an offer built and she had a structure set up and yeah. So she's like, come back with a name, come back with a layout, and we'll go from there. I don't even know who this girl is and what this life is, but I'm not thinking
It's
about next.
aligned.
I'm moving. I'm just moving through it. So there you
and I
have
love,
it.
this story is so beautiful because all the way from the beginning of what you said is you had a bad experience with Facebook in the past, but you did not let that dictate your future decisions, and you trusted. And the more you learned how to be in your feminine energy, what is feminine energy? Feminine energy is trusting. It's being able to let go. It's being able to detach. It's being able to receive. So the more that you allowed your baseline to be in that frequency, the more that you allowed to come in and to receive by trusting. So it's so beautiful how that happens because you started with your values and you attracted a woman who's South African like you on top of everything, who's willing to accommodate you, who's willing to be flexible with you. And that's what happens when you put yourself in a place of abundance where you not only have this volume, but you have the skill set now to sell yourself. And this is why I hear so many girls that are like, oh, I'm outreaching all these offer owners and no one's, hiring me. It's like, okay, well, how did you get trained? Oh, I didn't get trained. Okay, well, that's what the training is for. Like you learned how to outreach. You learned how to sell the messages. You learned how to position yourself as an asset, that you have this NLP pre-handling, NLP handling. So all of these little pieces set you up for success in being able to receive an offer. And all of the puzzle pieces just started clicking together. And it's so beautiful because you did not sacrifice your values. You didn't sacrifice your day-to-day. And people will move mountains for you. And there's so many different types of offers out there. So many different types of offers out there. And you found one that was aligned with what you were already doing. And that just makes it a seamless transition, you being able to do that. So just props to you, Anae. And the fact that you landed it in a week of searching and you barely had like 25 on your list. I mean, that just goes to show like what you did to do that and how much you showed up to the calls. You're like, okay, here's my data. Cause you have a whole tracker full of everything like we made for you. We're like, okay, here's the role. Let's put it here. Let's move it here. Here's the application. So can you walk us through like your actual process in kind of like what Revenue Room helped you in being able to land that role?
Yes. So the trackers are amazing. And the fact that it reverse engineers how much you have to do to get the outcome that you're looking for, which is something we always do the other way around. We do all the work and then expect a certain outcome. But when we know how much we can actually do and we fine tune that. So that's really valuable what you guys offered. And the tracker as well. What I do notice is that the affiliate outreach that you can do, it's optional, that you can do, that's a really good practice. You practice reaching out, you practice keeping track of what you've reached out. So that's a really good dipping your toes into it. And then when you go into to landing an offer, I mean, if you don't get an offer, there's 100 more. And that was the other thing behind my thinking. I was like, there are so many out there already. But yeah, and just a side note, I did ask her, I'm like, what if I end up realizing like this is not for me, like I just want to sell? And she's like, then we shift and change. Like the adaptability within this is so amazing. And that's what I feel like Revenue Room is too. We change classes, we change structures, and we're always updating. The mirror is always changing. Like we're always, moving forward. There's no finish line. So it's amazing that with the trackers and with you guys upgrading all the time, that helps us. So where a week ago I was struggling to outreach, we sit down, we figure out why on the class, and then the next week I do whatever we discussed, and then I'm moving forward again. So you're ever adapting, ever changing to the situation. And I think that's what makes it so powerful. So what really helped me was keeping track, having volume, having the space to just go and fill in. I didn't need to go and set up a whole Excel sheet. Like I love Excel, but I don't want to set it up. I just want to plug and play. And that's what's really amazing. And the fact that you can priority level, how badly do I want this job? Medium, low, high. And the offer I got was high, like it was marked on high. And actually all 3 ones that came back to me were marked high. So yeah. Wow. And then just also detaching, because now you're focusing, okay, I need to put this information in here. You're not focusing, okay, I have this and this and this person. So having that framework essentially kind of like detaches you from getting specific about who you want to land. It's data. I'm just reading in the data. I'm going to outreach. So it just takes the emotion out of it, because the outreach part shouldn't be about emotion. It should be about numbers, about data. And that's what makes it so powerful, is that you help us see it that way. I think girls get hung up about, I've reached out to so many people. I put myself out there. I made myself vulnerable and I'm not getting results. You put too much emotion into it and not enough volume. So that's really powerful. And that really helped me. And then the feedback. I send you my Loom videos. You do a live video and you give me such valuable feedback. You're honest by being kind too. It's not just like, yeah, you did this and this and this wrong. No, you move through it with me. Like I felt like we were moving through it together, and it wasn't you sitting on your pedestal telling me what I did wrong. It was us walking the journey together, and that was really powerful. So the fact that I have a whole month to land a role, I think that is like the biggest edge that Revenue Room has, because a previous program that I did, you did the program, I put the same amount of work in, and then it was like, okay, to continue, you need to subscribe and you need to pay more. And then when you're in that old mindset, you're like, I have to pay more now just to get clients. Like I just paid so much. So having the structure the way it is, giving that extra month to further grow, to get into a role is really, really valuable.
Yeah. I hear that so much, where sales training programs are like, they're either self-guided, where it's like, here, figure this out on your own, like the whole journey, learning sales, landing the role. But then some are like, you learn hands-on, but figure out the role on your own. But I was like, no, I believe in the A to Z journey. Like there's no upsells to landing the role. There's no upsells to the job board. It's all in one. You come in, you learn the skill set, 3 months, put in the work, and then you're still learning. Bonus month, we help you land the role. And when you have that system, then you land it quickly like you did. And not even just land any role. It's like the alignment of the role you landed. So just props to you, Anae, for continuing to put one foot in front of the other. Like this is how you get these results. So you were in this space, but you showed up for it, which is why we say it's like all you need is commitment, hunger, and drive. Like you guys will hear me say this all the time. That's all you need. From there, you cannot fail. You cannot lose. Like you will have everything you want just by having those ingredients. And I know for you, you went through a lot of battling of the fear on our sales call. And can you just imagine if you didn't make it through the other side and you wouldn't even be here? Like, but there's so many women in that position. Are you getting chills right now?
Yes, everywhere. I'm thinking of that one particular call we watched and reviewed. Like that girl, I wanted to dive through the screen and just pull her into the Revenue Room world and tell her, make it happen yesterday. Like get in here, because there are programs out there. There are amazing programs out there. But again, alignment. Alignment is the biggest thing. And if you don't have that, you won't see the success you could be seeing. So that is so important. And I mean, Revenue Room, you guys give us everything. You give us the word tracks. You give us the framework. We get 3 months to build our own framework based off of it. Like you really give us more than we could ask for, and it's tested. You actually use the word tracks to build your business. So you're not giving us something you're hoping will work. You give us something that you tested and you know it does work. So that is really amazing. And you continue to invest in yourself. It's inspired me. Like I'm already thinking of, I want to invest in this program, this person, this. Like I already have a list of things that I want to invest into myself, because it's worth it. You have to keep growing.
Yeah. And you made it on the other side of that, and not a lot of women do. And I'm curious, for the woman listening right now who is so close, she's hearing about high ticket sales. She's maybe a month in, 2 months in, hearing about it. She wants to take that next step so bad, but she's scared. Like, what would you say to her right now?
get resourceful. Like, I don't know why I didn't even think of Klarna. I used it before. And I know, making debt, spending money you don't have. I've been there. I've seen it. I've done it. But get resourceful, because what I've seen, like, and this is not necessarily high ticket, but what I've attracted into my life is abundance. Like, I've seen months that I have never, ever, ever seen in 10 years. And I've worked very hard my whole life. I've never seen the success and the abundance that I do now. And now I don't think about it. I just move through my life. I flow with time. I flow with money. It's not separate things anymore. It's all encompassed in one. And once you can make that shift, and trust me, you can't make it on your own. Like, I try to make that shift for years. Invest in yourself. It's worth it. Like, don't steal, but beg or borrow. Like, figure it out. You can do it. It's so possible. And now being in the program, I'm like, why didn't I do it sooner? Like, I would already like have return on investment like ages ago. Like, it's so wild.
You know, I love the part where you said like you're attracting like so much money and so much abundance now. And, you know, you put yourself on the frequency of like the feminine energy, like we said. And even too, I remember you saying after you joined, you're like, I already made my money back, and it happened in such a way that you didn't even expect. So what do you think was behind that? And being able to just like, now you're just in a place where it's like money just feels more abundant. You feel more abundant just by being in this frequency.
It's the frequency. It's absolutely, and people can say it's woohoo, and people can say they don't believe in energy and all these kind of things that they can't see, but it's there. Whether you believe in it or not, it's there. It's happening, and it's true. Like, I mean, I joined the revenue room the week after I landed my dream role as a VA that I've been trying to land for 2 years, like the week after joining. And then it's just been abundant after that. Like, everything I'm going through now with this offer owner, like, I told her, like, where have you been all my life? Because she's pushing me. She says, I see your potential. You can help so many people. I don't see myself the way she sees me yet. And I don't even know what's going to happen down the road, if I'm going to pivot or change or what is going to come up. But I'm just trusting the journey. Like, I'm figuring it out as I go. And she's asking the right questions, and I am just rolling with it. So just really being in that energy, being around people. You said it. You said you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. And my chin dropped to the floor. And this is not like I'm slapping someone in the face, or I'm like being rude about the people that I surround myself with, but they might not be the right people for me. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great, but our energies just don't align. So you try to be what the people around you are. You're not being yourself. I haven't been myself much during my life. Like, I've masked for so long. And you told me, if you wear a mask, you will attract the wrong people for you. So not wrong people, just the wrong people for you. So that energy, being around women, I mean, people always said, Ane, you talk too much. Ane, you are too much. Ane, you're so overwhelming, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm in a space where people say, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing, not you're oversharing. Like, thank you for being so open. And I'm like, why are people thanking me for being myself? That is wonderful. I want more of that. So just being in the rooms where your mission, you have aligned mission, you have an aligned goal, it changes everything. It opens yourself up to so many things. And I sleep with high frequency music now. Now my son he's sleeping in my bed lately. He now goes to my room, puts on the high frequency music, gets in bed, turns around and sleeps. And then I just have to get in bed. I don't have to put the music on anymore. And he loves it. He says he sleeps so good on the high frequency music. So I don't know, when something works and it pours over into other people's lives, it's the same with my mom. She's always like, Ane, be careful. Ane, I just don't want you to get yourself into something that's not good or that's dangerous or whatever else. This whole journey, she has just been so supportive. She never once warned me or told me, like, I'm worried. Are you sure? She just was so supportive. It was so out of character. Not that she's not supportive, but she's always concerned. And she always wants to make sure I'm going to be okay. She was so supportive, and she is just like beaming. Like every time I call her, she's like, yay, I have been so excited to talk to you. I can't wait. Like I need to talk to you every day. Like, and it's like that attracting energy now of people want to be in your life. Like the right people now are attracted to you. The right people like gravitate towards you. And I have like a couple of friends who've just been so amazing during this journey and in my darkest of times, and now we'll just all rise together, and it's just such a good place to be.
And if any room made you feel small, made you feel not enough, made you feel dim, that was not the room for you. And now you're in a room where people are like, hey, we love you, Anae. Thank you. Appreciating you. And you deserved that this entire time to make you feel like you could be you. And this honestly feels like such a, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Because you came in and you appreciated a podcast episode that I had, and like here you are on a podcast episode. And it makes me emotional because it happens like that, you know? And it's just been, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. I just entered luteal too. So, but witnessing your journey, Anae, like me and Mike, we would like have dinner and talk about you. And I just like remember our sales call like it was yesterday. Like you've transformed in ways that I haven't even seen in all of my coaching. You know, it's just you did that, and just so beautiful. And here we are, full circle moment 3 months later, and you're on the podcast episode, and it's just, I have no words.
No, I'm so grateful it all aligned. Like I will never forget Emma DMing me. I wasn't even aware about affiliate outreach. Like I had no idea what was happening. And then you and Mike just felt like that brother and sister that I have a brother and I adore him. Like he means the world to me, but you were like that brother sister team in my life. Like, no, now it sounds weird when I say, like you're like my sister and he's like your man, like that kind of dynamic. But you know, when you're like friends with your friend's man too, like in a cool friend dynamic, and the three of us just made magic happen together. And it's because of the input. And then beyond that, the girls, oh my goodness, my sisters. I cannot imagine where I would be if I didn't step into this space. Like I will never stop being grateful for Emma for bringing me in, and for you and Mike, you know, getting in the trenches with me. You really do. Whatever you say on your podcast, like you mean it. You go in there and you do those things. And like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for what's next.
You're so welcome. And I can't believe like we're already like, I feel like we could keep talking for so long, but yeah, exactly. Is there anything else that you want to share? Anything else that we haven't talked about? Anything else that you want to share with the woman listening right now who's burnt out working the 9 to 5 and just wants to feel free and aligned?
Well, invest in yourself. Take that step. I'm going to start my own brand now, which 9-year-old me, and I manifested this. I manifested skincare and clothing line. I manifested all these things as a 9-year-old, and then I gave up on it. And now it's happening. Now I get to build this lifestyle brand that I've only ever dreamed of. Like, and it all came up as it was happening. So invest in yourself, get excited, because you never know where this might lead. Like, I cannot even believe my life right now. And it's just because I took that step. Even though at the time I was like, why am I doing this? This feels weird. This is scary. And remember how the exact amount I had to put down showed up in my bank account out of nowhere. If it's meant to be, it will align. Whether you think it will or not, like it is going to align. You just need to open yourself up to it.
And that's the scary
part. Go to revenue
part.
room.
Well, Anae, thank you so much for being on the podcast and inspiring our listeners and sharing your journey. It's been so incredible having you on here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Pinch me. I'm on a podcast.
Yay. I'm going to put some links in the show notes for you. And yeah, you can slide into my DMs if you have any questions. I'll put a link for Revenue Room. I'll put a link for the lobby. If you're like, Rahaf, I kind of just want to dip my toes in, but I don't know if I'm quite ready yet. Just come into the lobby. It's the free community. There's a free mini course. And they went through the entire mini course in the lobby, even though she was in Revenue Room. So it'll help
so
hype you up.
Yeah.
It'll
so
hype
good.
you up. It's provided so that you can plug into the frequency. That is the intention of the lobby, is like, just get into the frequency, just see the wins, see the space. It's literally touching Revenue Room. So I'll put all those links in the show notes, and I'm just sending you, the listener, just so much love on your journey, and just want you to know that this is possible for you too. Like, Anae is, she's just some girl who was in South Africa and now lives in Canada. And all she did was just believe in herself. And now she's got this aligned role. So if she could do it, you could do it, but you need that hunger. That's it. All right. Well, I will see you next week on the Really Rahaf podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
If this episode resonated with you, if something clicked, stretched you, or made you see what's possible, share it and tag me on Instagram at Radiant Rahaf so I can hype you up properly. And if you haven't already, subscribe and leave a 5-star review so more women who are ready to step into high-ticket sales and reclaim their freedom can find this space. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for you already. See you next Tuesday.